Alright guys, so here's a little clip of me converting my sourdough starter into a Lievito Madre. And to do that, it takes a series of feedings. You don't do it all in one feeding, of doing essentially more flour than water instead of equal parts. And to be exact, double the flour. So I'm doing a 1 to 2 to 1 feeding, meaning 1 part starter, 2 parts flour, 1 part water. And I do about 5 feedings to get it from 100% hydration to 50% hydration. And that's what's known as the Lievito Madre. And essentially is a biga that is kneaded, and it is sourdough. And that is the old school Italian sourdough starter that they refer to as the biga before the new form of biga, as you guys probably know it, has been coined. So the name biga is referring actually to a Lievito Madre, but has been kind of adapted over the years. And here is my Lievito Madre. I'm just kind of making it into a bigger dough ball, or Lievito Madre, to get ready for the event, because I need 500 grams of Lievito Madre. For the dough I'm doing, because I'm doing 10 kilograms of flour at 5% Lievito Madre. 10 kilograms of flour is about 60 pies, which you'll see came out to about 70. And the Lievito Madre versus a liquid sourdough starter is that there is less bacterial information and more yeast information. So it still does have a wonderful sourdough flavor, but not overly sour at all. Not really even sour at all, just flavorful, complex, nice, with a very open crumb for like a low hydration, or for any hydration. Bigas tend to give you that really, really open crumb. The texture is awesome. I love using it. So here it is, the 500 gram Lievito Madre. And actually, for the purpose of the video, this was actually already done, about to be set away, but I just let the gluten relax so I can make it nice and smoother for you. And kind of showing you how they do it in Italy. They really give a shit about their pasta madre, as they call it. And yeah, they make it about 45% hydration to 50. I always try to go a little under 50 if possible. It is a pain in the ass to knead it by hand, but it is worth it in the end. So I don't have a roller, so I'm using this empty whiskey bottle that I have. And just kind of rolling the dough back, making a little swirl like the Italians do. You always got to cut across to make it your holy pasta madre and have God's good faith in your dough. And that is going to be set aside to mature until it's time to make the dough. And look at that, it's ready. So here I am, I'm making the dough, and this is a batch for 60 pizzas, which is what we usually sell at the event at this location. So that's 10 kilograms of flour, 6 liters of water, 500 grams of Lievito Madre, or 5%, 270 grams of salt, which is 2.7% salt, and this is a 60% hydration dough. After you account for the Lievito Madre's hydration, it's probably a little lower than 60, but not by much. I mix it for 8 minutes. I let it rest for about 5 to 10. Then I build some tension. I start with the water, and then I add the Lievito Madre, my 500 grams. I don't just throw one big blob. I at least rip it into a few pieces and swish it around the water a little bit to kind of get the starch throughout the water that's going to mix throughout the dough. I'm not trying to break it down. I'll let the mixer do that within the dough. But you can rub off some of the starch throughout the water. That will help the whole dough ferment, because all of the water will have some starter to it. That's at least what I believe. If someone want to back me up on that, that'd be cool. But realistically, you probably get almost the same results if you just threw it all in the mixer at the same time. But you gotta have a little method. It's part of the passion of the dough, you know. You gotta feel it in there. See that water turn white? I like seeing that because I know the water will travel throughout the whole dough. It's hard to make that whole biga go through the whole thing. Whole Lievito Madre. So yeah, once again, 10 kilos of flour, Caputo Americana Super, 6 kilos or liters of water, 60% hydration, 5% Lievito Madre, 2.7% salt, 8 minutes mixing on the slow speed or speed 1, and a 5 to 15 minute rest before building tension. After I build the tension, put it in a bucket and wrap it. It's going to rest for about an hour. I mainly just want the gluten to relax. I want fermentation to kind of start happening. But yeah, I mean, by the time I put it in the bucket and wrap it, we're just going back over to Josh's house, cleaning up the mess over here. And by that time, it's at least been 45 minutes. Never really set a timer, just going for somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour before balling the dough. But yeah, it's got its little bit of rest. You can see it's stiff. This flour is very strong. I'm not trying to make it perfectly smooth ball. I'm just trying to make it a little smoother and build a little bit of tension, give a little bit of shape to it before plopping it in the old bucket there. So as you can see, I want to make it nice and tubular so it'll fit in that bucket because that's a lot of dough. Boom, shook the whole earth when I dropped that. Pack it down because I'm used to doing the yeast water where I kind of watch its progress overnight. But this one's not going to have much progress because it's only getting about an hour of rest, as I said. But yeah, it's a beautiful looking dough. Yeah, here is our dough after about, 16 hours?
About.
Yeah, right about 16 hours. And this is about a 20-hour dough, so I think we are in fantastic shape here. We prepped for 60, but we have 70. So and a half. So yeah, gigs in a few hours. Everything's prepped up. Sauce, cheese, pepperoni, sausage, mushroom, onion, garlic, basil. I think that's it. We'll be there in a few. We got the oven. Our dough. Cooler. One is empty just to hold the dough trays. And here, we got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Look at all of that. What's up, Josh? Let's do this thing.
Ready to get this done?
Oh yeah. Alright, we're set up. Got the fire going. Got our new propane tank. We got a bunch of sauce and everything else, cheese. A little setup. 5 o'clock, brother.
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, my friend. We got sodas and drinks. We're ready. Yep. So here's the setup. I got my dough. I put it in my flour semolina mix. I stretch it right here. We got this new addition of a mini pallet where I got my peel. I got my garlic, oregano, olive oil, sauce, pepperoni, mushroom, onion, basil, the fresh mozzarella, the grande fiordi latte. We got some parmesan, pecorino romano, sausage. We're ready. We got mama cannoli over here. The best cannolis in town.
ready for you.
We sold out completely. Setting up. Oh yeah, baby. We made about $1,000. How do you feel, Josh? How you feel?
It feels fantastic. I feel exhausted, but